So can I present you Mr. Jos Verheijden. He is responsible for the Leonardo da Vinci program. It's a program that stimulates vocational schools. That's vocational education and training. Mr. Verheijden, please, it's yours. So I think you will see today it's about quality development, and working on quality, you will hear it's working on change, and change happens every time. Using ICT also is change, and can be only foreseen. So it takes a while.
It's working fine.
All right.
Good morning. Okay, now it's working. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jos Verheijden, as already said, and I'm responsible for the Leonardo da Vinci program in Flanders, working in the national agency. And I was asked to explain you a little bit about the Leonardo da Vinci program. I have 15 minutes. I have lots of slides, but I think that the presentation can be announced later on, so that you can also have a look if you want. So it will be rather a fast slideshow, and I'm just going to explain the headlines of the program. So, to understand a little bit more, and now I have to switch that on as well, I think. Now it's working. Okay, here we go. To understand a little bit more about the position of the Leonardo da Vinci program, I'm showing you this slide because the Leonardo da Vinci program is one of the 4 sectoral programs that is integrated in the lifelong learning program. The lifelong learning program is a European program to stimulate lifelong learning throughout Europe, and especially the former programs that were existing already have been integrated in this program, and among them you have the Leonardo da Vinci program. The Leonardo da Vinci program is more specific about vocational education and training. We use always the abbreviation VAT of that, so, but I think it's common also in education, and so that to use abbreviations, and so if I use the word VAT of that, I think you will understand what I'm talking about. But what field is addressing Leonardo da Vinci the program? So you see some keywords that are all relevant for the program. We are talking about vocational and educational schools. On secondary education, then we call it initial vocational education, IVET. Also continuous education. It's about vocational schools, but also, and this is very typical for the program, it's also about cooperation with enterprises, other organizations, social partners, and things like, and organizations like that. So it's not only for schools like the communities program, and that is also well known. And you also see, yes, there are also a lot of abbreviations also used, like ECNet, as European Credit System for Vocational Education and Training, EQF, European Quality Framework, and that is something that is also very relevant for the project, the TL+Q project. One of the main objectives of the project is to improve the quality of the vocational education and the VAT systems and practice throughout Europe. There's something going on now. Updates. It's not supposed to happen. Okay, here we go again. Of course, all these things, the approach to it, it has to be structured in a certain way. And as you can see, there are 9 different actions in the Leonardo program. And they are split up in 2 groups. On the one hand, you have what we call decentralized actions. And they are for you on your left side. And decentralized actions. This only means that it has to do with the procedures that has to be followed. The actions, the decentralized actions, are the actions that are managed by the national agencies in the participating countries. Each country has a national agency that is responsible for these programs. And centralized actions, these are managed by the Euro Commission themselves. But they don't do it themselves. They have the executive agency that is also located in Brussels, who is dealing with these actions. It's fast. So, what are these participating countries? At the moment, there are 33 full participating countries. These are the member states of the European Union. And as you can see, Iceland, Norway, Liechtenstein, Turkey, Greece, and Switzerland are also fully participating in the program. That means that they can participate in all the actions. But this is not only for Leonardo da Vinci, this is for the lifelong learning program, because it's, there are some general rules, and one of these things is that the participating countries is for the whole of the lifelong learning program. The third countries, you can see them as well. Their participation is limited to some actions, and that is mostly in the centralized actions. So, if you want to send your pupils on a mobility to do some traineeship to Bosnia-Herzegovina, that is not possible. But they can participate in some actions on centralized level, these third actions. You have a look at the time so that I'm not going over my time too much. A short introduction to the different actions then. First of all, you have the mobility actions, and we have 3 target groups. It's according to the level of education that the target groups are organized in the program. Very important also is that until the end of 2006, also the tertiary education, the higher education institutions and universities, if it was regarding placements, they were also participating in Leonardo da Vinci. But from the lifelong learning program, this has shifted to the Erasmus program. So the target groups now are initial vocational training, what we call the secondary schools. It's the initial training. You also see the duration of the placements. It's not about the project, because the project, we make a difference between the duration of placements and the duration of the project. A project that can last up to 2 years, and in some countries you also have mobility certificates and things like that, but I'm not going to talk to you about this now. But if someone from electromechanics wants to do a traineeship in Italy, let's say, the duration they can go between, the minimum duration is 2 weeks, but they can go up to 39 weeks, which is already a long period. The second group is, we call it the IVT in this group, the first one. The second one we call PLM, which is abbreviation of People on the Labor Market, and that is everybody who is available for on the market for work. So that can be graduates, that can be job seekers, but that can also be some employees from enterprises. They can also work, they are also targeted in the program. and there is a duration they cannot go up to 6 months on a placement in another country. The third one is what we call VET Pro, VAT, Vocational Education Pro is for professionals. And that is everybody who is dealing with the first two target groups. So every teacher in a vocational school, a director, sector responsible human resources managers, all these kind of people, they are also targeted. They can also go abroad to go on some kind of training, and that's between 1 and 6 weeks. The budget, that's also general in all over Europe. You can have some money for the organization of your project. You can have some money for the preparation of your selected participants. And then also, of course, you get some money for the subsistence and the travel costs of your participants. How much do you get? That is country specific, because the European Commission has conducted a framework where all the countries have to work in, but there is some flexibility that each country has to fix the amounts of the subsistence rates and so on. So that can differ from country to country, but every country, participating country, has a manual, administrative and financial handbook. So if you want to know how much that your students from your institution can get to do traineeship in another country, then you have to contact your national agency in your own country, and they will explain you everything about it. The second action is the partnerships. Partnerships, we consider it as something in between mobility and mobility projects like transfer of innovation. But it is, partnerships are also the way it's organized. It's similar like in Comenius and in Greenfield. That's the first thing. So people who already have some experience in that respect, they know how it works. So, but this is that you have to work together in a time period of 2 years, and these are fixed around a team of common interest. And very specific in the Leonardo da Vinci partnerships is that your partnerships is not only about schools like in Comenius, but that also partners like enterprises have to be partners from the world of work. They have to be included in your partnership. So that makes it, of course, then again very specific for Leonardo da Vinci. Like I said, general rules, 2 years. At least minimum 3 partners from 3 different countries. And this is, in the mobility actions, it can already be bilateral, that you work with 2 countries. But here you have to be with minimum 3 partners. And this is a very specific procedure also for applying. And each partner has a contract with his own national agency. By the way, 3 minutes, I have 3 minutes left, so I'm going a little bit further. This is also very interesting, the Transfer of Innovation project. It's about adapting, transferring, and implementing the existing innovative solutions. This is general rules about it. What I wanted to say is that, of course, the TL+Q project is a transfer of innovation project that was being selected in 2010. It has a duration of 2 years, and it's extended with 6 months because of the great work they are doing, and they could justify that they need some 6 months more to do some extra work, and we were very glad to grant that request. Then you have the development of innovation. This is a similar like transfer of innovation, but this is on European level. But the big difference is that here innovation has been developed. Now I'm going to go a little faster. We also have on centralized actions networks, but these like development of innovation networks, and also the accompanying measures, which is also an action. It's on a very limited scale, and we always say if we're talking about vocational schools, it's better that you not try to be the initiator of these kinds of projects, because the chances to get selected are very low, and it's really hard work also. So everything, yes, that is also an important slide. We have some databases where you can also follow what is going on within projects and things like that. But you can also find these links on the websites of the national agencies. Very important, and that is then I'm going to end the presentation. We work with annual call for proposals with deadlines, and more important is that we are 2030 is the final year of the current program. From 2014 until 2020 there will be a new program. The negotiations are still going on European level. The European Council has not been taking decisions yet. But you probably already heard the name about Erasmus for All, where it's also more educational oriented the program will be. But what these specifications, other specifications will be, that still has to be decided. I'm going to end here now. Okay, thank you very much.
Perhaps let's make a little summary. Technical vocational schools, they can have funding for their students, for their teachers, and they should have a kind of collaboration with industry. Several actions, only 1 year, and in 2014 everything is going to be reviewed. So if you have possibilities, please apply next year within your national agency. Technical vocational schools together with industry in a partnership. All right. Any questions? Remarks? All right, thank you. Then we present Dirk de Buijzer. Dirk is director of the Eekhout-Centrum, and the Eekhout-Centrum itself is the coordinating organization of the project. Dirk, all yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, and best friends from all over Europe, a very good morning, and it is indeed a great pleasure and honor for me to get the opportunity to address some words to you. And as Wim just said, Eekhout-Centrum is a Flemish in-service training center whose core business it is to develop trainings and courses for teachers in the perspective of their continuous professional development. And Eekhout-Centrum had a chance to be the coordinating partner in the TL+Q project. And the story of our Leonardo da Vinci Teach, Learn and Quality project started about 2.5 years ago. And today we have come together for the closing conference, which means that we are facing the end now. And the closing conference is a first opportunity for us to disseminate the results of the project. And working together for more than 2 years in a partnership with vocational schools, a university college, advisory bodies, in-service training organizations, enterprises and policymakers was a fascinating and challenging experience. Sharing and exchanging knowledge, learning with and from each other made us far more competent in teaching and learning processes. And the main aim of this project is and was to improve the quality in vocational education and training within Europe by means of creative and motivating teaching and learning methods which are embedded in a quality system supported by industry and services. And TL+Q, Teach, Learn and Quality, focuses on actions that affect school management and class practice. And the produced didactic support and tools for quality assessment, they have been tested, they have been evaluated, and they have been validated during the project. And all testing took place in cooperation with the associated partners, such as industrial enterprises and services, advisory bodies, as I said, and in-service training institution. And the validation was achieved by the TL+Q industrial partners. And setting up a quality system in schools stimulates reflective skills and competencies. Gradual but constant improvement of the quality of the school quality results in a better educational performance and an enhanced employability. And by introducing creative and motivating methods, students' attitudes will improve and their eagerness and readiness to keep learning for life will be stimulated. TL+Q developed 3 key items which contribute to the improvement of educational quality. And the first one is quality development at school. The second one is ICC in company classes. And the third one was MTLM, motivating teaching and learning methods. The results of the exploration and practical research on each item are assembled in an inspiration book, and they will be presented immediately. And the 3 should they do it without? Yeah. So, the results of the exploration and practical research on each item are assembled, as I said, in inspiration books. And the 3 inspiration books contain evidence-based examples of good practice, transferable methodologies, and testimonies of management, teachers, and students. And the inspiration books support schools and companies as well as students who take part in company classes, and everything is also downloadable from our website. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to labor-intense project weeks in Almada in October 2010. Can you understand me when I speak in that way? Yes, that will be better, I think. Well, I said that thanks to the labor-intense project weeks that we had, first of all, in Almada in October 2010, that was the first week, in Bruges in January 2011, in Barcelona in May 2011, again in Bruges in October 2011, in Juventus, and there it was freezing cold. In January 2012, minus 30 degrees. Yeah. And now again here in Almada. So we are indeed a bit proud to present the 3 inspiration books today. Let me very briefly focus on each of them separately and say something about the cover of the inspiration books. And the first one, that's this one, that is quality development at schools.
Quality development must assure the maintaining of the quality in education and provide a constant improvement. Thus, it is a kind of a cyclic movement. And that means that the team has to set, and probably you do know that, of course, the team has to set what we call SMARTY objectives. They should be, the goals should be specific, measurable, acceptable or attainable, relevant or realistic, timing and inspiring. SMARTY. They should plan actions, they should execute the actions, the team has to check if the targets are achieved, and the team has to adjust the plans if necessary to secure the results. The successive cycle is well known as the PDCA cycle: plan, do, check and act. And as quality development quite often introduces change, and change induces resistance, we should also take into account the relational, the emotional, and the human aspects when we are working on educational quality. And the concept of the IMAR cycle, namely inspire, mobilize, appreciate, and reflect, can be very helpful to approach these aspects. The cover of the inspiration book on quality development at school clearly reflects the cyclic movement which is inherent to quality development. That is the first one. The second one is motivating teaching and learning methods, MTLM. That is the second inspiration book. And this inspiration book focuses on the primary process in the classroom. Namely, what is the primary process in the classroom? It is teaching and learning. That are the key factors for educational quality. And in recent years, we are facing transitions from very traditional to what we call socio-constructive learning. It is the learner who has to become the owner of his own learning process. And we are talking about lifelong learning, building knowledge, holistic thinking, higher thinking skills that get the focus more and more. And there is also a switch from traditional ways of teaching to new ways of teaching, namely group work, demand-driven and task-based and problem-solving projects, learning anywhere and anytime. And the key question and the challenge is how we can increase the motivation of our students. And this inspiration book, MTLM, provides interesting ideas about active and participative learning and studying, about peer evaluation, about geocaching, about Moodle and interactive tools. And they all illustrate how teaching enables active learning with motivated students. And the cover of this inspiration book, the MTLM inspiration book, echoes the idea that qualitative teaching and learning consist of various